There is nothing better than when the three of you just insult each other.
Yeah, it happens a lot. There's a bit in that trailer where it says 3 friends, and you should have seen the reaction in our office. Ooh! Yeah.
You see,
You say that, but I've watched a bit of the opening scenes. You've got to go and look at it.
Gonna get soppy on me now, don't.
A little bit. It was when you sort of all come back together bit by bit.
In the opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We shot that bit. There's a moment when we all 3 arrive, and then we all get out the cars and
there's
we all
a
join.
huge crowd there.
Yeah,
it's like a big gig.
Because I'm the soft one of us, really. I said I was a bit choked, and then we all confessed. Yeah, the whole crew was.
You all
it was
tear up a bit.
Yeah, it was a big moment. You know, we've been working towards that for a long time.
You set your tent up, as it's described, your open-air studio, essentially, around...
It's a tent.
It's a tent.
Yes.
At various locations around the world. The opening episode is in Los Angeles, or in America, somewhere. So each of the audiences you have are native from that country. Are they all as receptive as you get out?
Thus far, I mean, we haven't finished doing all the studios for this first series yet, so we're off this weekend. We'll be away, and then it carries on. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a bad one yet. Well, you worried me now.
No.
That bit of the show used to, you know, to actually, instead of being in a fixed place, usually in a TV show, you go to the same place
location.
Yeah, now we don't. That wasn't cheap.
Was any of it cheap?
Really wasn't
Richard?
cheap. Yeah.
We worked hard to make it the best we can do.
Have you had any reaction from the BBC at all?
No, but I mean, I wouldn't really expect that.
No.
It's another show, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I guess all of us were fans of you guys and fell in love with the way it all worked between the three of you on Top Gear. And it was an extraordinary period in all of your lives, and yours as well. How do you look back on that period of sort of your life and career, Richard?
It was a mere bump in the road. It was a time of change. Look, the fact is we've been able to reinvent, reinvigorate, and I hope what people are going to find with the Grand Tour is that the familiar is there. Anybody who's liked watching us in the past, we're still the same 3 bumbling idiots. 4 if you include Wilman, the producer, who's very much the fourth musketeer. We're still the same 4 fools, messing about around the world, being overly ambitious and failing and badly dressed and poorly turned out. But we have had the opportunity to reinvent it.
Have you seen him hangry, as the rest of us sort of call it?
I was just listening to the anger management bit. I think my brain's been flooded a few times in the past in motor racing.
But don't you listen to classical music when you're in the car as the stig to calm you down?
Always. Jeremy's a driven bloke, you know, and we all are, really. But I've always seen it really manifest itself in, OK, let's get this done, let's go for it. And, you know, the people become fairly short-tempered, I certainly do, but I've never seen it, you know, manifest itself any worse than that with Jeremy when I've been working with him anyway.
So does this come as a surprise to you then, Perry, to see this?
Well, I mean, it's still alleged, isn't it? Yeah. So, no, there's no massive surprise. But, you know, for me, again, my experience with Jeremy isn't somebody who walks around swinging at people. He really isn't. So.
Can you explain a little bit? I mean, we were talking about the pressure of a situation as well. Explain a little bit about the situation when they are filming and they've got all sorts of work going on. How much pressure there is on the hosts of the show to deliver these films, and the production team as well, of course.
I think it's like many things in life. You know, it's here and now, isn't it? You've got to get something done, and time is normally your enemy. So if you're trying to get something really of great quality, then, you know, you've only got a certain amount of time. If there are mistakes, you're running out of time. You've got to mobilise people. You've got to get the lines right, the script right, the feeling right. So it's the same in motor racing. You know, you run out of time.
Long days, though, presumably, and that heightens, I suppose, the potential for irritability.
Yeah, I mean, it does everywhere, doesn't it? You know, I mean, I've got 3 daughters, and believe me, I understand the potential for irritability.
What does your car say about you? Some choose colour. This one's red. Some like it when they have a smiley face. Some like leather seats. Others, a drop head convertible. Maybe not in this weather. But for me, it's all about the 1970 Aston Martin DB6 Mark II Volante. Triple, twin Weber carburetors to Vantage specifications, producing in excess of 300 brake horsepower. Inline 6-cylinder engine driving the ZF 5-speed gearbox. This thing roars like a pride of lions at a roaring convention on National Roaring Day. I'll take it. How much does it cost? Over $1 million.
Can you do that roar for us? You've got the job. That's it.
It's going to be on the internet forever.
Oh,
Amazing.
my goodness. Laura Rory, you're brilliant, but don't leave us.
I won't do just yet. I haven't got the £1 million to buy that. But also, interestingly, there are only 17 of those in the world. One of them is owned by Prince Charles, and that version, of course, had a wheelbase 4 inches longer than the previous one. That's why it was so special, in case anybody was wondering.
Rory joins us now. First of all, explain yourself, Mr. Reid. We were expecting you before 8 o'clock. 10 to 8 at least. Have you gone all Hollywood already?
I apologise, I apologise. Listen, my life recently has been 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. starts.
We know how that feels.
And it's all caught up on me. I was just around the corner, but you know when you plug your phone in, you rely on that to wake you up? Yeah. The cable on my phone died. I'm not all Hollywood, I'm down to earth.
I think the last person that blew us out was Mariah Carey, then we've got Rory.
Yes.
You know, you're up there.
Am I on that level?
You're on that level.
Yes.
I love it, love
You
it.
don't have quite as many kittens. So.
No, not quite. It's great to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I'd imagine that the sort of the anticipation, because you guys have been filming this for a long time now, but the anticipation and the build-up for Sunday night must be something else for you.
It's great. It's almost like a lifelong build-up for me personally. But yeah, I imagine the people watching, the Top Gear audience, are hugely excited about what's about to happen, and rightly so, because we've got an incredible series lined up.
It must be a dream extension, though, isn't it?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, you know, if think about it like this, it's almost like winning X Factor, basically. If you're a singer and you've been singing all your career, and suddenly you make it to the big time, it's on that kind of parallel. But for me, you know, I'm very serious about what I do. By the way, this is not just entertainment for me. This is a big deal. I'm looking forward to actually taking people, you know, through the process of what happens and showing off each car that I drive and making sure that they enjoy each moment.
But of course, as you're a big fan of Top Gear anyway, you're going to be putting yourself under an awful lot of pressure to measure up to the standards that were left by Jeremy Clarkson, Richard, and of course James May.
Not really.
But you know that everybody waiting, going, is it going to be as good? Is it going to be different? How are we going to measure up? And undoubtedly, I'm sure that you look at it with those eyes as well as a fan of the show.
There is no pressure on my part, really, because I'm a fan of Top Gear, definitely, and I know what came before, but the process that I've been through recently has shown me that it will live up. It will be different, but it will live up to the expectations of the fans. And we've worked so hard in trying to maintain the essence of Top Gear and trying to maintain that fun and that connection with people. And we're pretty confident that what we deliver will be this hugely enjoyable, hugely inclusive new series that I'm not really nervous at all. Especially the videos that I've made, I think they're incredible.
So you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And we're just looking at a shot of the new team as they're lining up there, and undoubtedly with something as big as this, 350 million people around the world watch it. There's been lots of stories about fallouts between the presenters, particularly Chris is under a lot of pressure leading this story. From your perspective, have you noticed any of that? Has there been any problems?
No, it's 99.9% nonsense, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of tabloid speculation, but the truth is, when we all connect on the set, there's no problem whatsoever. And you know, I don't expect people to believe that, but the truth is, I turn up, Chris gives me a hug, Matt gives me a hug, Eddie gives me a hug, Sabine gives me a hug, Chris Harris gives me a massive hug.
Do Matt and Chris give each other hugs? Because
they do,
that's
yeah. I was watching it too, because I read the papers, right? So I turn up on set and I watch those guys, and the first thing I see is them giving each other a massive high five, a big embrace, and it fills me with this kind of, like, this feeling that, okay, we're going to be okay. Like, don't believe what you read in the papers. And these guys get on because they have this connection of cars, and that's the most important thing.
Come Sunday, where will you be? Will you be watching with the family, or will you be sitting quietly?
I'll be with the family. I'll be I'll be about 2 feet from the sofa with some champagne or something, just soaking it up like everyone else.
Will you be on Twitter as well? Will you be watching the reaction?
I'll be on Twitter. Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, let me know. Yeah, I'll be there, definitely.
At Mr. Rory Reid. Lovely to meet you, Rory. Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
We'll be gripped. Our family absolutely adore the programme. We can't wait to see what you've all done with it.
Yeah, they'll be excited. Thank you.
Good stuff.
We can speak to Vicky Butler-Henderson, and you presented the show for several years, didn't you? Morning to you.
Good morning.
The other female presenter that's been on there as well. What did you make of it?
To start with, I was excited to see it back because this has had a whole year of media sort of anticipation. So it was a big launch. But I felt that they could have totally revamped the whole format and gone with something so fresh that you couldn't compare it to the old you know, the Clarksons' Top Gear era, because it was like going into sort of a very famous house that you know and love, where all they've really done is put some sort of new tiles in a bathroom, where they should have just completely stripped it out.
It is really hard, isn't it, when it's a show that's been that loved, when they're sort of thinking, isn't it a poison chalice one way or the other? Whatever you do with it, there are going to be people that aren't happy.
Yeah, I think that is always going to, you know, be the way. I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, Jeremy Clarkson did a Reliant Robin story where he tipped it over, and I was crying with laughter at Clarkson's Reliant Robin story. So for the modern Top Gear to use Reliant Robins, I thought was a bit... they could have done something completely different, and I wouldn't have been reminded how brilliant the Clarkson...
I was upset for it not ending up in one piece as well. Poor thing, ended up with its door ripped off, didn't it? One of them, and the other one was upside down.
And you had sort of a minute's footage of a Reliant Robin being towed on a tow truck, which isn't the most dynamic of TVs for, you know, TV footage for a car show.
One of the interesting things, isn't it, is the reaction on social media, because, you know, I was watching as it was being broadcast, but also you're keeping an eye on things like Twitter, where people are instantly making judgments on it. We've run our own poll this morning as to whether people liked it or didn't like it. Sad to say, look, 76% of people said that they thought it was a car crash rather than being in pole position. So there's harsh judgments out there, isn't there, online as well as, you know, when people are reviewing it.
Yep, it has got a bit of a pasting, but let's not forget that when Clarkson's new Top Gear came about in these sort of early 2000s, that it took them quite a while to get a new format and for them to get embedded. But what is lacking are just sort of layers of humour at the minute, which I hope will come as, you know, the presenters sort of get together and learn more about each other.
Well, you know Jeremy Clarkson. Will he have been watching?
I don't know.
Oh. He wouldn't like to tell anyone he was watching, would he?
No, I don't know. But my husband was the series director for Top Gear, and he's now the series director for the Amazon Prime show that Clarkson's doing. So I have an eager foot in. Yeah, so my husband was definitely watching that.
You've been very impartial, considering. If you were given the job, if they asked you back, would you go? Of
course you would. You know, for a car lover like me and a motoring journalist, you know, of course, any car magazine or car show to be involved in would be fantastic. And Top Gear is iconic, and I'm just very proud that I have been involved with it, you know, in its history, and it is now evolving, and we will see what, you know, how it happens and how it evolves.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating, won't it? We'll just watch with interest to see how it develops, and also the reaction, whether people sort of, you know, as it beds down, they'll go with it.
I'm sure they'll get new viewers, and they'll probably lose some as well. But you know, it's a global phenomenon that I can't see stopping right now.
I love the way your eyes lit up when I asked you if you'd take the job.
Cars.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah, well, I've been lucky enough that I worked on Fifth Gear, so I still do my dream job. So it's, you know, it's great.
Oh well, listen, thanks very much for coming in to talk to us this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you.